Hi guys, so I haven't filmed a video in so flippin' long. Sorry, my job has gotten insane, let's just say that. Literally it's been insane for the longest time. I work 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 8:40 to 3:15. And by the time I get out, I am so tired. I'll still be filming my specialty videos October, November, and December. But I'm hoping this October to shake things up a little bit. We will be talking about something on the podcast channel that kind of coincides with what I want to start doing on this channel in spooky season. I want to start going to haunted locations and doing paranormal investigations. It's always been something I've been interested in doing. It's always something that I've always wanted to do. So with that being said, I'm going to read a couple of places, and I'm going to talk about different states that I could feasibly get to. Obviously not telling you where I live. I'm going to tell you different states that I could feasibly get to easily. And I'm going to read some places there. So this is the first one. Again, not telling you where it is. But yeah, so these are the 10 most haunted places in this area. So I don't know why the lighting got dark. It's not that dark in this room actually because sun is coming in through the window. But anyway, so the first one is Point Lookout Lighthouse, and it says Scotland. In Scotland, this place is one of the most haunted locations in the state, Point Lookout Lighthouse. Point Lookout has been home to countless tragedies and disasters. Oh, by the way, trigger warning if any of these things that happened are horrible or hard to listen to. I have not read these before because I wanted to be surprised on camera with you guys, so I don't know. The area served as a prisoner of war camp, a hospital during the Civil War era, a hotel destroyed by a fire, and a lookout point during the Revolutionary War. In 1830, construction on the Point Lookout Lighthouse was completed and it became a functional lighthouse. In the years since its construction, the lighthouse has been home to an extraordinary amount of hauntings. A man in a Civil War era clothing is one of the most frequently seen ghosts. Extraordinary. He is said to be in horrible physical shape, smells of gunpowder and mildew, and it is believed he was attempting to free himself from the smallpox unit that once stood in the area. Sorry guys, so many ads are popping up. Another ghost is that of an elderly woman who appears to be looking for something on the beach. It is believed she is looking for a missing gravestone. That's so sad. Within the lighthouse, people have captured voices on their recorders. Ghosts of wounded Union soldiers have been spotted and temperatures dropped dramatically. Fletchertown Road. Fletchertown Road is the home of an urban legend. It is said that the Goat Man lurks in the area. According to stories, the Goat Man escaped from the Department of Agriculture Research Center. Oh my God, I've heard of the Goat Man. I don't know where I've heard of it, but I've heard of it before. Comment down below if you've heard of it too. As the name suggests, he is supposedly half human, half animal. The urban legend goes on to say that for 2 decades, the 1950s and 60s, the Goat Man murdered people who traveled the road with an axe. Exciting. After murdering them, he would eat his victims. To this day, people claim to have seen the head of a goat or a man in tattered clothing in the area. Dr. Samuel A. Mudd's house. Dr. Samuel A. Mudd was the doctor that treated John Wilkes Booth for his broken leg after he unalived President Abraham Lincoln. John Wilkes Booth received treatment at Dr. Mudd's house. Believing he was a co-conspirator in the unaliving of President Lincoln, Dr. Mudd was tried and ended up spending years in prison. Thanks to his wife's tireless efforts, Dr. Mudd received a pardon from President Andrew Johnson and returned to his home. Dr. Samuel A. Mudd's house is now a museum and historical site. Stories claim to see Dr. Mudd's ghost wandering his property in the home. Other claims have stated the bed where Booth slept will show the impression of a body in the bed. The museum is open from spring to fall from the hours of 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Admission is $10 for adults and $3 for children. Unfortunately, there are no ghost tours on offer, but there are guided tours of the home included in the admission fee. And there's an almshouse. I'm not reading where these are. Almshouse. When the almshouse opened in 1874, if you saw a cut, it's because I didn't know what this word meant and I wanted to understand what I was reading. So this is the new sentence to explain this place. When the almshouse opened in 1874, it was to serve as a home for the elderly, the mentally unwell, the poor and needy, and children. There we go. Now, okay. An addition was made to the almshouse, which housed prisoners. People who have spent any time at the almshouse have made claims of assorted paranormal activity. Some people claim that if you visit the third floor, you may hear the voices of women talking. Other people have stated that they've heard the sound of children in the building playing. Farther claims state that it is possible to see the faces of children not only in the windows of the house when standing outside, but throughout the interior. You can visit the building as it's the home of the Historical Society of the place, run by volunteers. The entrance fee is $5 and it's open Fridays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Saturdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Glendale Hospital. The Glendale Hospital opened its doors in the 1930s to treat and house people who suffered from tuberculosis. Adults and children called the hospital home for decades. The adults and children were located in different areas of the hospital. There are also narrow tunnels under the hospital. Stories say that when Glendale was a functioning facility, the patients endured torture and experimental treatments. Eventually, in 1984, the hospital was closed and it's lay abandoned ever since. People brave enough to investigate the hospital have reported hearing strange noises, yelling, banging, and even laughter. Others have reported smelling burning flesh. The ghosts of patients as well as dogs have been seen. One of the saddest stories is attached to a man seen in a straitjacket in one of the rooms. It was believed he unalived himself after being unable to live with the guilt of not saving the family he watched get unalived. That is so sad. Disclaimer: this story is for entertainment purposes only. We do not condone trespassing. Yeah, I'm not trying to get arrested. St. Paul's Cemetery. There are a lot of cemeteries that are named after saints. This is the old St. Paul's Cemetery. The cemetery dates back to the 1700s, and it is said to be the location of regular paranormal activity. A lot of paranormal activity happens in cemeteries. Some of the occurrences may be the results of the casualties buried in the cemetery following the Battle of someone's field during the War of 1812. I do not know that name. I'm going to have to put it up on the screen. Graves belonging to Union and Confederate soldiers are also in the cemetery. The ghost of Oh my God, these names. I know the first name, but I don't know the last name, so we're just going to put his name up on the screen. His ghost is seen at the bridge of the edge of the cemetery. He was an officer during the Revolutionary War. Sometimes when it is especially dark, people have claimed to see his lantern crossing the same bridge his ghost is believed to haunt. The most famous grave at the cemetery with paranormal activity is that of actress, oh my God, I can't pronounce the first name, we're going to put it here. So this actress, people claim you can hear her raspy voice if you lay on the slab that covers her grave. I'm not laying on, if I go here, I'm not laying on any, that would scare me. Graveyards kind of creep me out in general because they're so quiet. A state house. With a long history of politics, this state house is not devoid of paranormal activity. The most famous of all the hauntings and legends involves Thomas Dent's. Dent served as a plasterer on the structure's dome. While working, Thomas Dent's apparently fell to his unalivement. Oh. People visit the state house annually to try to see his ghost wandering the grounds as well as the building. It is also believed that a soldier from the Revolutionary War era wanders the grounds as well. A room in the structure that is famous for being the room where George Washington resigned is said to be haunted by an unknown spirit. Could Washington be haunting the old Senate chamber, or is someone else making their presence known in that room? Other ghosts and spirits are believed to wander around the grounds and throughout the state house. A hotel. Visitors to the hotel have reported countless encounters with ghosts as well as other paranormal activity. Some guests have claimed that they had nightmares while staying in the hotel because they are sensitive to the presence of the paranormal. Fantastic. Others have claimed to feel as if they are being watched while asleep. People who have ridden in the elevator and been in the lobby say the sensation of being touched by a pair of hands has occurred. Okay, question. Where? Being touched where? The elevator also randomly visits the 19th floor when no one pushes the button for that floor. When on the 19th floor, people have claimed to see the ghost of a little girl with a red ball, black shoes, and a long cream-colored dress. Others have seen the girl crying, rocking back and forth, and screaming in addition. The hotel supervisor has seen the ghosts of 2 adults on the 19th floor. Local legend states that a married couple committed unaliving by jumping off the hotel after the stock market crash of 1929, leaving behind a little girl. Many, including some of the hotel staff, believe that those are the ghosts that guests see today. Oh my God. That is so sad. The fact that they had a child. That is so sad. That poor trauma. That poor girl. That trauma. Guys, sorry if you saw a cut. I said the place of where it is. I'm going to call it the Female Institute. The Female Institute was one of the first female institutes in the South. Life at the Institute could be tough as the building was made of stone and got bitterly cold in the winter. Colds and sickness spread among the girls during the wet and cool months, and a number of girls even died from influenza and croup? C-R-O-U-P. I've never heard of that. I'm going to put it on the screen if you guys want to look it up to see what that is. I don't know. One in particular was said to be Annie Van der Lot, the daughter of a rich southern planter. She resented being sent to the school, and she sent a number of letters home which protested her incarceration, and spoke badly of the school. She died from pneumonia during her first winter at the school, and her ghost is said to still linger there, roaming the ruins where her classmates and dormitory used to be. That is, oh my. There have been several sightings of Annie's ghost in the historic park. A few years ago, a girl who found herself separated from a group of visitors saw a young woman in a long gown walk out of the front doors, down the stone steps, and across the lawn where she abruptly vanished. Jonathan Hager House Museum. Let's read about Jonathan Hager. The Jonathan Hager House Museum, also known as Hager's Fancy, is a historic landmark in this state with a history dating back to the mid-18th century. The house was built by Jonathan Hager, the German immigrant who founded the place, and served as a residence, trading post, and frontier fort. Frontier fort? Frontier fort. I don't know. Over the years, the house changed hands several times, eventually falling into disrepair before being restored and deeded to the city. The house, which has been standing for nearly 300 years, is said to be home to at least 13 ghosts. Wow. Over the decades, curators and tour guides have reported a variety of paranormal experiences, including disembodied voices, objects moving on their own, and the sound of footsteps and heavy objects being dragged across the stone floor in the cellar. The nursery is particularly active, with a rocking chair and cradle that move without any human intervention and temperature fluctuations that have no apparent cause. Visitors have reported seeing several apparitions, including a little girl who seems to be particularly drawn to women, a lady in green often seen looking out the window, or as a flash of green in the hall, and a man in black who has been spotted both around the house and elsewhere in City Park. The museum is open from April 7th to October on Fridays and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tours are on the hour and no appointment necessary. Private tours are available if you call in advance. Ooh, I could get a private tour. That article was from Haunted Rooms Co. And the other article I went to was from nope, wrong one, sorry. I think it was here. Yeah. The other one was from Dorsey Family Homes. So those are the two websites that did the articles. This is the first state that I can feasibly get to that I was reading. So if any of those places sounded interesting and you want me to go to any of those places, please comment down below. I'm letting you guys decide which ones you want to see me do the most. There's another one that's really close to me. Okay, there are two places that are really close to me that I also want to do. There's this one bar in the downtown area near where I live. And there's a cemetery also in the downtown area. And that is because someone very famous is buried at that cemetery and used to frequent that bar. You would all know him if I said his name, but you would also know where I live if I said his name. He was very famous back in the day, and he frequented the bar, and people say he still haunts the bar, and people say he is seen in the bar and in the cemetery. He's famous. He's still talked about today. It is rumored, not confirmed. It is rumored that the workers of the bar do say it is extremely haunted. It is rumored that glasses like that you drink liquor out of have been thrown at the wall and smashed at 2 a.m. And they believe that's his spirit throwing the glass at the wall and breaking it. That's rumored. It's never been confirmed that that's him. He always used to go to the bar and then walk to his house from the bar. The cemetery where he's buried is also where people have claimed to see him and the other people buried there. So I'm definitely interested because that famous person is someone that I've been fascinated with for a long time. Mostly because of taking psychology classes. I've been fascinated with him because his psychology is so interesting to me. Like, it's just, it's just so interesting. Like, I'm just interested in people from history's psychology. This person, I wish I could say their name, but that gives away the area I live in, but he's just so fascinating. Anyway, so thank you guys for watching. Again, comment down below any of these areas that you want me to go visit, anyone that you were interested in. I am probably going to try to hit all of these. They were very interesting to me, especially if George Washington haunts one of them. Also, I'm going to try to have all the things I want here by October. To do paranormal investigations, I want to have a plethora of things. I want to have, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the device that you have that can well, okay, if I remember the name, I'll put it on the screen here, but it's a meter. I want to get that before we do them. I already have a camera, as you guys know. My sister probably gonna be taking pictures with her phone, and we're gonna have that ghost radar app, which a lot of people say is fake, but I want to see what things pop up there, and she'll screenshot what words pop up, and like we'll look back later and talk about it, because we're always going to do videos all together where we talk about what we experienced after the fact. And then I want to get a spirit box. You guys know about the spirit box if you've watched Loie Lane or Haley Reese, or you guys know how the spirit box works. And yeah, fantastic. But my friend Tori is going to have some, you know Tori from the podcast channel. My sister Kelly's going to have some things. I'm going to handle the spirit box. And my boyfriend is going to be our cameraman. So I do recommend that before we go into paranormal investigations, everybody has a positive attitude. We go into it with a positive attitude. We have a positive attitude while we're there to keep negativity away. We want to keep positivity around us, a bright light around us. I also say that we should wear a form of protection, whether it's a cross, whether it's any other type of protection, just wear it. I know that the three girls are wearing a cross, and I think my boyfriend is wearing something different. And we're also going to do a prayer before and after we go in for protection, because you never know what type of entities you might encounter. You might go in looking for, let's say, George Washington, but you could end up talking to something that wants to cause you harm. So, you know, just for protection's sake. Yeah. But yeah, so you guys let me know down below which one you want me to go to. I'm definitely gonna go to a couple that are very close to me. So I'm at least gonna do the ghost tour that happens in one of the locations. So I'm super excited for that. I'll see if I'm allowed to film the ghost tour. If I am, I will. If I'm not, at least you ask. You never know unless you ask. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.